What should the Lakers be looking for in their next head coach?
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If it's JJ, it's going to be a cynical locker room. You're going to see guys that are going to say, is Coach going to do a podcast after the game with LeBron? You're going to have a cynical locker room of guys that are going to side-eye everything JJ says, because they're going to wonder, is it JJ's message or LeBron's message?
So that clip has been floating around with Udonis Haslem critiquing the thought of JJ Redick becoming the head coach of the Lakers. And right away when I heard this, I started thinking back to that Miami Heat team, the Big Three with Bosh, Wade, and LeBron James. And initially, Udonis Haslem wasn't going to be on this team, and he spoke about this publicly, basically saying that, hey, look, man, they never had cap space for me. The Big Three came, and Dwayne Wade actually had to go out of his way to call LeBron and Chris Bosh and say, yo, we need Udonis Haslem on the team. We all got to take a pay cut. We really need this guy on the squad. That came to my mind because obviously I think LeBron would be the one that you really had to convince. I could see Chris Bosh kind of just saying, I understand. But to go even deeper with it, there was also some speculation that LeBron didn't want Eric Spoelstra on the team at first in their beginning season, early into it. And I think Pat Riley had a book where he was talking about that, where LeBron was kind of hinting, hey, man, like, we got some issues with this guy. I'm only saying all of this because obviously Udonis Haslem is speaking from a place of experience, and he knows what it's obviously like to deal with a guy like LeBron James when it comes to coaching and what will happen. And I agree with him. I could imagine that locker room sitting back and wondering, hey, man, is JJ and LeBron going to do some podcasts? Now, I don't think they would. The point I'm only trying to make is, yes, I could see guys sitting there wondering, okay, JJ, what he's saying, is this what JJ really feels, or is this a message being conveyed through LeBron James and JJ Redick is being used as a mouthpiece for it?
An excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. Then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy. There's never accountability.
This is where things get really interesting. I'm going to try to tie this all together so that you can really understand what I'm trying to say. Doc Rivers made these comments recently in response to what you just heard JJ Redick say. It was on the Stephen A. Smith podcast or show that he does. Now, if you look at the Athletics anonymous poll that they did for this year, Doc Rivers was a very polarizing figure. It's either players said, yeah, this is a guy that I want to play with, or they said, no, this is not a guy I want to play with. I'm bringing this up for this reason. JJ Redick takes his job with the Lakers. I could see him being a polarizing figure where some guys may love him, what he does, what he stands for, or they may not like the fact that he has this, what they believe, a very conflicting relationship with LeBron, and there's some things going on between them. Again, the whole, is JJ the mouthpiece for LeBron? And when JJ goes on to say Doc Rivers doesn't take accountability, this has been a critique of LeBron James when it comes to coaching, right? You heard guys like Stephen A. and other people on ESPN bring this up. I think Kendrick Perkins as well. LeBron doesn't take enough accountability when it comes to the coaches.
Think about LeBron James, and I think about this situation in particular. It looks bad on him with Darvin Ham.
Perk, a lot of what you said, yeah, the accountability.
I'm looking at this Lakers team, and I said this in a previous video when I predicted Denver would beat Lakers. They didn't really do anything from the year before when they got swept by Denver. They lost in 5. If they bring JJ Redick to this whole organization and he's the head coach and the roster is pretty much the same, is there going to be anything different than what we saw in the past 2 years? Right? And then if they end up failing and they lose in the playoffs again, whether it be to Denver or somebody else, you know, is JJ going to get blamed? So this is just some quick food for thought with this whole situation. But it all boils down to if JJ Redick actually takes this job specifically with the Lakers. If he goes somewhere else, don't see these kind of issues obviously happening. Let me know what y'all think. Do you see JJ Redick being a good fit with the Lakers? Do you like it? How you feel about the video? Let me know. And as usual, salute for listening.